Hey everybody, welcome to the Pals Podcast. My name is George Boutsalis.
And I'm your other pal, Ricky Liorti.
Before you go any farther, we have one thing to say. Thanks so much to everybody who has tuned in and coming back to tune in again. We love you all and thank you for the support. For those of you who are new listeners, we ask one thing. Please take a second to go like, subscribe, and follow the Pals Podcast. You can do so on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, every social. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And we'd like to give a special shout out to the people who keep the lights on for us, our sponsors. First is our presenting sponsor, Kingsville Brewery. Guys, we've been drinking this beer for the last probably 6 months now, and it is amazing. Most of you know me and Georgie aren't big beer drinkers, but this stuff goes down great. Premium, light, refreshing, perfect for the cottage, summer drinks with your friends, or hanging out and listening to the pals. They're available now for GTA delivery through Profile Wine Group. So definitely check them out. You can get it delivered directly to your door for a very cheap cost. So definitely check that out. And guys, again, if you haven't drank this, give it a shot because it is so, so good. So special shout out to them and give them a follow on Instagram and all of the socials at Kingsville Brewery. And Georgie, tell them about our other sponsor.
If you don't know, you're about to know. Our next sponsor is our baby, our passion project turned global social media app, taking over the world and fixing social media one vote at a time, Cast. Guys, I'm going to tell you what Cast is. Cast is a social voting app. We're on a mission to create a safe space to share your honest opinion and see an instant snapshot of what people really think. We're turning bystanders into active participants in every conversation. Now, you might say, George, doesn't social media like that already exist? Well, the answer is no, and you'd be wrong. Guys, there's a reason why we're doing what we're doing. Social media has become a place filled with subjective data, dishonest opinions, and biased narratives. We're bringing objective truth, honesty, and transparency to social media to create a real representation of what people really think. If you want to check out Cast and get on today and be part of the conversation, you can go to www.joincast.co/download. You can find Cast on the App Store and the Play Store. Just look for the purple C. And that's all. Without further ado, LFG.
Let's go.
Oh, I need to talk louder than
You're
this?
good. Like, right? That's
good?
like, you're perfect. I
Okay.
can always fix it over.
Okay.
George, you want to start the new intro? Not new anymore.
You take it away, Rick.
All right. Pals, welcome back to another exciting episode. This episode, we have hairstylist extraordinaire, Toronto, LA, movies, films, Stefanie Terzo. Welcome to the Pals Podcast.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
We're glad to have you in the studio. It is nice to do the in-person ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Danielle speaks very highly of you, so we said, I'm actually leaving soon, so this is probably our last in-person one
For a few weeks.
For a few weeks.
Ah.
So she's like, we got to get you in, so here we are. So the bar is set really high, so pressure is on.
Oh, God.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
snuck it under the wire.
Love it.
All right.
Yeah, but no, we thought we'd bring you in and find out more about what you're doing and what you got going on, because the world's opening up, and I'm assuming that you got a lot on your plate right now with productions and all that stuff happening.
Yeah, it's been pretty busy. Film was actually one of the first through the pandemic, I think, industries to come back full force, and that's because it's so strict. So I did a series called Locke&Key, and that was one of the first productions back. And we started up pre-production was in August of 2020, and we have to get COVID tested a minimum of 3 times a week. So there's that. Also, we had to, on set or in the trailer at any time, you had to wear a KN95 mask, you have a shield on, trying to do hair and gloves, and while wearing a hospital gown.
Wait, you have to wear gloves too the whole time?
Yeah.
Don't they like melt with like the irons and stuff? Like,
So yes, they don't necessarily melt, but you wouldn't think this until you start working with gloves on. So when you are styling the hair and the hair is hot from an iron, it burns your fingers through the gloves. Whatever the gloves are, and we tried
latex,
all the
right?
different, but there's different.
nitrile and there's latex.
Nitrile, latex, and there's one other one I can't think
Vinyl?
of. Vinyl. No matter which ones we
Know
tried,
these things.
the heat just it's so much. Like, I can touch hair with an iron. I have calluses on my fingers. Like, I don't feel it anymore. And wearing the gloves was literally burning my fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be hard? Because I can tell you, like, we were talking about like before how I had like long hair and everything, and I remember because I actually had my long hair still during the beginning of the pandemic, and this is back at the beginning when they like mask wasn't a thing and it was gloves was a thing. You know, you could touch it and get it.
Yep.
So I'd go pump gas, and I put like one glove on to hold the. I still hate touching the gas pump regardless. I'm not like OCD. I just think it's like disgusting, or like whatever. But I would put it on, and then as soon as I take it off, my hand was like my hair would get staticky. It would like stick. I don't know if it was from the oil or what it was, but like then the rest of the day, my hair was like glued to my face. I was like, this is the worst. One of the reasons I cut my hair off. But I can't even imagine what it's like to style hair with like gloves on.
Yeah. So, I mean, you want depending on what the look is, you want it to be perfect. But that's the thing. If you see one flyaway, you are not necessarily going to go in and fix it because you're going to create 10 more just trying to fix one. So it's like you then start to figure out different products and stuff. But it was a huge learning curve. Definitely grateful for all of it because it kept the industry going. And like I said, it's one of the only industries that really made it through. But it was exhausting. It really was. You wouldn't think all of that is tiring, but it is. It really adds to the day.
Well, yeah, especially if you're getting COVID tested 3 times a week. Do they do them on set or no?
On set.
Okay, so at least you're going there regardless. It's not like you have to go out of your way to get a COVID test.
No, it's done throughout the day.
But still, like getting that thing put up your nose, and I'm sure they're not like super gentle either. They're just like, come on, let's go. Let's get this out of the way. Shove it up your nose and go.
Yeah, I'm a pro. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
How has it been like the working environment? I mean, obviously more strict with more protocols and everything. Does it feel different, or is it like is people still there to do a job? Like everyone's there to serve the to do a job, and like it's still the same kind of environment once they're there. Are they happy to be there, or has it changed the working environment and dynamic a little bit?
It has, but I think almost in a good way because people were so happy to be back, and a lot of people were very grateful for the opportunity to start working again so quick because we only shut down when the world did in March, and then shows started coming back. Like I said, productions, offices came back a bit earlier, but like sets were happening again in August, September. So that was pretty amazing, especially here in Toronto, considering you guys have had 3, how many lockdowns?
3 lockdowns.
3 official started.
3 official, and then they're projecting 4 or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
There's a rumor of one, yeah.
Yeah, I've given up on this whole lockdown nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a year.
So you're from Toronto,
yes,
originally. But are you here now? Are you still here most of the time? Are you traveling more, or?
I travel a lot. I still come back. This is still my home.
Mm-hmm.
And my family's here and everything, but I do travel a lot. I've been very fortunate in my career. I do spend a ton of time in LA. I've worked in New York. I've worked in Barcelona. I've worked in one of the greatest experiences I had is I got to go to Romania and shoot a series. Yeah, so that was because otherwise I would have never gotten to Romania. Like, who thinks?
Was it in Bucharest or where?
Bucharest. Yeah, the majority of it, and then we went to a few other little towns around. But that is an amazing place. Like,
I actually wanted to go. I didn't know it was that amazing, but I'm from Greece, which is like just below it.
Yes.
I've always had this fascination with it to go, but yeah, never thought to go.
Yeah, Transylvania. If you like vampires,
that's what Transylvania
is. They say.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
And I went to Dracula's castle.
Come on.
To Vlad the Impaler's castle. Yeah.
Was it cool?
It was very cool. And we were in there, and I have videos of it. It just all of a sudden, beautiful, sunny day, and then the sky just went dark. And rain, just hard rain.
Really?
Yeah, we were stuck inside. But there's like dungeons and like all the old torture like devices, things that you would never think of, and it's insane. Like they have these metal things. It's like a collar with spikes on the inside, on the back or the front, like all over. And then your hands are stuck to it. So basically, you have to hold your hands up because the second you start getting tired, the spikes are now
stabbing you.
Yeah. Like,
it's
just
so messed
crazy
up,
torture devices.
Today it's like you get exhausted from like standing too long, and you're gonna get like a back pain while you're working. And back then it was like you don't work, you get sent to a dungeon.
Yeah.
Crazy how times change. That's really cool though. So of all the places you've traveled for work and been able to go, is Romania your favorite, or is there other like what do you like?
Romania was my favorite. Yeah, Romania was my favorite to visit, but I love LA.
Yeah.
LA is second home, And I mean, you can't beat the weather.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You never like it being in that world and seeing it more. So does it make you love it more, or hate it more? Do you see a different side of it? Because being like, I mean, that's Hollywood, right? Like you're kind of in that world.
Yeah, I love it, but a lot of people think that LA is the typical Hollywood. So how I like to explain it to people who have never been to Los Angeles is LA is not Marilyn Monroe. It's Kurt Cobain. It's grungy. It's dirty and all that, but it adds to it because I don't know. I love it, but it's
like it
definitely not
romanticizes it.
a glitzy, glammy city at all.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's
been a while since I've been. We went. When's the last time we were there? 2015.
Yeah.
That year, I think was the last time we went. I don't think we went 2016. We didn't go.
No, we did Cali in 19.
We did? Oh, yeah. I went to the game. Yeah, true. But we didn't go to
LA.
I haven't been to LA since I went 2015. We were there. We did Coachella and went afterwards for my birthday. I don't know. It's interesting. I have mixed feelings about LA. I don't think I spent enough time there to give it a chance. I've been a few times. Not recently again. Like last time was 6 years ago now. I haven't been there enough to give it a chance. But obviously everything you hear with like traffic and like the grungy side and also like the little bit of pretentious things. Like, you hear so many things. I don't know if like sometimes I wonder like would I rather be living there than here because the weather and like, you know, you're on a coast because like obviously living near like a body of water and ocean is amazing, like sunny weather, and it is a cool place obviously. But then it's like would you like want to put up with all the traffic, and now apparently they have like a crazy the population of like homeless and all that on
Skid Row.
Is that what it is? What's it? Yeah.
Skid Row.
Yeah. Apparently it's nuts. It's so interesting because it is also like it does seem as like an outsider doesn't know. It seems like a cool place, but it's like does the trade off happen? Right, everyone's got a good and a bad side, or are pros and cons, I guess. But I will say when we were there, it was really nice. Like we stayed near Sunset, just above, and like
nice,
really cool.
Good
neighborhood. We did it properly.
Yeah.
We
rented a nice little house there. We were there for what, 3 days?
3 nights. Yeah. 3 days, 3 nights.
Now that I talk about it, I'd love to go back.
Yeah, I'm just dying to go anywhere. Like for me, I want to get. I love Toronto, but recently it's just that with everything happening, I'm just over it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's our government's fault, but not here nor there. I'm in a good mood today. I'm not going to get down this tangent. Back to you. When did you know you wanted to be a hairstylist?
Oh, I was young. I had an aunt who was a hairstylist, and as a child, I used to go to the salon with her and just, you know, pretend like I was doing things and sweep the floor terribly, but I did it. And things like that. And then, so when I was in high school, in the 11th grade, I did co-op, and I started working at a hair salon. And
as a co-op?
Yeah.
Wow,
so got credits while working full time, and
do they still have that now?
I think so.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
But it was fantastic. So I loved it. The salon loved me. I did really well. So I started working there part-time on the weekends. And then, I stayed at that salon for many years. And that's sort of how I got my start. And then I had a friend who used to direct music videos and had asked me to be in it. I get there. Their hairstylist doesn't show up. So I'm like, okay, dude, I got this. So I do it, and it's a crazy music video, like girls with like antlers and all this weird stuff. It was really cool. So just imagine.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
And contortionists, it was crazy. So I'm talking with him after, and he was like, so would you ever think of doing this as a career? I was like, a career? How many music videos shoot that I can make a living off this? And then he's like, no, like film and television. I was like, oh, no. Literally the next day, I looked it up and never looked back.
Really?
Yeah.
So just by pure coincidence, like just by right place, right time.
Yeah. So it was, and I'm so grateful for that one random
person that didn't show up.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were destined to do this, or like it was meant to happen, or would you have not have thought about it if that circumstance never happened, that person didn't show up? Do you think you would have ended up in the same career? Same.
Do you know what?
Career and maybe career in industry.
Probably. I can't say yes or no because who knows how it's going to go later. But if that moment never happened and no one ever really brought it up to me, there's a good chance that no, I would have never gotten into it. So, yeah.
That's so interesting how that works. Because some people like there's the other side of the coin, right? Where people like they know what they want to do their whole life and they have this thing like really set. really set in their mind, like, the people talk about manifestation, all these things, but there is that belief of like, there's a saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And typically that implies like the more I work towards my goal, there's a better chance. The odds improve of me getting there, and then I'll one day get lucky. So most people, not most, but the things like people that I've spoken to, especially like with us, with what we're doing in our startup, it's like we every day we work like a little bit more, and at some point you're going to get lucky for the most part, and it'll work out the way we want it to. But it's interesting. It's been a while since I've heard someone say like, I'm like, I love what I do. I'm happy with it. It's the most amazing thing, but I never would have thought to go into it or anything like that. So it's really cool to hear that perspective too. And it's not like you were perfectly frank. Like, yeah, who knows what would have got there.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So, yeah, it's good. It's good. And I mean, the stuff now that I've done because of that moment is incredible. The people I've met and like things like that. I did a promo shoot with Jude Law, like who I would have never thought as a child I would have ever gotten to work with him.
He's cool.
He's very cool.
Seems very cool.
He seems cool.
Like, he just seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
His
Australian, I think, right? Yeah. Cool guy. I'm saying cool guy like I've met him.
I know.
Seems like a cool guy. So what's one of the aspects you love most about your job?
Creating. Working together to literally create characters and help these actors become this being. Because it is a collaborative thing between networks, hair, makeup, wardrobe, and your actor. So it's just working together. And it's really beautiful. I did a series called Orphan Black. I worked on the fourth season of that. And the lead was Tatiana Maslany, and she plays, I don't even know. I think on a regular there was about 7 characters. Over the series she played who knows how many. But watching it's incredible. So if you actually watch the show, you forget that you are watching one person play all these different, because her mannerisms change, the way she stands, like she's incredible. And just doing that is beautiful. So I wasn't there for the original setup of these, but to do stuff like that, or another series I did, Shadowhunters. As a teenager, I was a huge fan of the book, so when I got the series, it was like a dream come true.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So season 2, we introduced one of the characters called the Sealy Queen, and I was so excited because I'm like, guys, I made a wig before the series ever came out. I'm like, I created a wig based on this character, and they were like, okay, let us see it. We camera tested it. Wig made it to the show.
Come on.
It became her. There were 3 different actors because the Sealy Queen, she's a fairy. She could change her appearance, but the hair was the one thing that was consistent between the different actors. It's how you kind of told her apart from, yeah.
When you watch some of the, like, I guess movies or shows, music videos on TV, are you like, that, I did that, I made that, like that little like moment of joy and happiness?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and to know that so many other people are enjoying it.
Pull the mic a little closer. Slightly pull it. Yeah, a little more. You're good.
Good. And just to know that other people are enjoying it. So, for example, with Shadowhunters, it was such and it still is, they have such a fan base and a following that they still do conventions, and they are not like Comic-Con where it's all these different shows. It's literally for Shadowhunters. And we were supposed to do one in April of 2020. That got canceled. But we've done 3 online ones, and I've been invited to them. And people will literally, I do one-on-ones with fans, and they ask all questions about, like, how did you get her hair to do this? What do you think I should do with my hair? And it's incredible how much they too want to know. Not only are they infatuated with these actors and everything, but that it's the character. So they want to know everything about the character, down to, what products do you put in her hair? What shade of lipstick is she wearing? Like, it's wonderful. That's because you're bringing joy to people. Yeah. So.
I never thought about that. Sorry, just like on the like in terms of the Comic-Con things, or those lists, those ones where people like buy into a character, it's like a fictional character. I guess I've never thought about that side of the world of acting and cinema and all that stuff, because you see people that, like, that dream of meeting celebrities for the people they are, for the actor, but not for the character. And I didn't really think about that. So naturally, I'm sure they like, they get excited by seeing the actual person who plays it, but they also probably want to know, like you're saying, who the people who helped create this person, how did you do it, so then they can either emulate it or find out all the ins and outs. That's really interesting.
That's the big one.
I never thought about that.
Comic-Con, if you think about it, a lot of those people, they love the actors who play these comic book characters, but they love the character so much where they're like, okay, I need to make my hair like Dragon Ball Z characters, like the Gokus and all that stuff. I just saw a random video of that the other day. That's why I mentioned it. But how they have their hair go crazy up like blonde. It's like, okay, how do I do that?
Yep.
It's like,
the fandoms are crazy for some of this stuff, and feels like it's getting bigger. Like it feels like with like you see social media and everything, people are embracing it, leaning into it more. Like Comic-Con or like literally anything, any fictional show like Dragon Ball Z, all these things, like you see it more on like TikToks and social media. Like people are more like, it's not this like obscure thing anymore where like, people who are like kind of weird, like comic books or books, they go to these things. Like feels like it's becoming more mainstream as well. Like that sort of world.
Yeah, I feel like even like Marvel's a big part of that, right? Like they basically made comic books super mainstream now.
Yeah,
it's changing a lot.
I do think so.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, what would you say was your big break?
My big break? My first big series that I worked on. So I'd done a couple little things. I did a BET movie. I did some stuff like that. But the first big thing I worked on was a series called Damien. And you've heard of The Omen, the movie? So the little boy's name is Damien. He was 5 years old. So this is 25 years later. He's now 30. So it's a story about the Antichrist. And he doesn't know he's the Antichrist. But now this darkness is following him. Great series. It did only do the one season, which was too bad. But really good cast, great acting. Number one set the lead actor set such a good tone for the entire show. And that was fantastic. That was probably my big break, because from there, other producers and because I was number two in command, so I had a department, so I was the key stylist on that, and from there it was just like, oh, you did great on this. Come to here, and then I started becoming my own head of department, so I was running the show, and just kind of took off from there.
Jeez. This is kind of a sidebar, random question. If you weren't, I'll get in a second. If you weren't doing hair on set, what else? What would you be doing instead? If you could choose one other thing, like somebody you work with and see, you're like, oh, that's
like
really cool.
On set?
Anything.
What else would I be doing? I need to think of this. Now I'm just going through all the different departments because there are things that you wouldn't even think of. I feel like set design would be really cool. So creating the rooms and stuff, like what is this guy's bedroom going to look like? What is her bathroom going to look like? Yeah. Stuff like that. I think that would be really fun, like creating the looks of what these sets are going to be. So
I feel like you're just constantly window shopping when you're creating sets. So you're just going, I really like this. I'm going to make my set that.
Yeah.
It is interesting because like you really have to work. I think anything in like the film and movie industry, TV, whatever, you have to be very creative. You have to be very imaginative. I think whatever role it is, because you're not only like you're creating this person, but you also have to consider like. So it's an assumption. You have to consider how people are also going to perceive this person, what every little detail does. Like I think that's, for me, I consider myself somewhat creative, but I don't think I could ever do that. Like how is someone like, by, you're saying set design, like if you change this light here or put this color of walls, like how does it impact the actual character? So like think about like how we go through our lives day to day and like we know who we are and like, everything that makes you up and like what you embody. But like, oh, they're going to perceive me this way because I wear this shirt or I have this tattoo, whatever. Now you have to consider like every person, like to make someone up from the ground up. That's so crazy. And even like hair, like you said, like the smallest thing, like people will notice it and consider that as part of the character. Like something's out of place. Oh, are they like a messy person because of that? Or was that a mistake? Like that's so, I find that so fascinating. And I could never be able to do that. I think it's so,
George,
everything it's like an art. Yeah.
To you, what would you do?
On a set? director. I like bossing people around. I would 100% direct. I'm good at delegating. Not good. I think a director delegates a little bit. Like you kind of like set.
So I think you'd be really good at first ADing then. So the first AD, he basically runs the floor. So the director can do his job and tell the actors what to do. But the first AD is like,
Directs.
you put that like
Oh, yeah,
this.
yeah.
Sorry, what's the
You do
first
this.
AD?
We need
Artistic
flags.
director?
Assistant director.
Assistant director.
I think that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I feel like I am okay enough at doing like the creative aspect. But I don't feel like I could. That's what
If you
I
want
would
to
do.
boss people around, yeah. Be a
I don't like
first
no,
AD.
sorry, not like it's like bossing. I'm just good at like okay, like I need this done. Go do
Organizing.
organizing. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm okay at. But I think being a director would be cool. I don't
George
even
just
know.
wants to sit in the chair.
Yeah, I just sit
just
here
like
and
to
like
hear his
I just
name.
want to do this and be like, okay, wait, move over this way. But I think that'd be really cool. On the other side, like being an actor, I don't know if I could ever do like stand. What would you do, actor?
No. I did. Actually, I've never told this story. After I won Mr. Chin in 2013, I got hired to do a commercial for, not a commercial, sorry, to be the guy in the app for a bingo app. Right? So I had to stand there.
Bingo app?
A bingo app. So it was beach,
I don't
it was
understand.
beach bingo. So I called the numbers. So I stood in front in a little room like this, in front of like bright lights, topless, and I just had to say the numbers.
Wait. So
Like A1.
topless.
A1, A1, A2. And I'd say it over and over, and then I'd be like, beach bingo, you win.
Oh, so you're a voice actor.
No, because I'm on the screen in this bingo game.
Okay.
I'm the like, so you press a button and I show up, and I'm like,
What happened to this app?
I don't know. I never paid attention to it because I was so miserable that day. I hated it. So I couldn't do it because, again, as an actor, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, like consistently.
So, but okay, you had a bad experience though, because I got to act in a commercial. It was the funnest thing I've ever done. One of the funnest things I've ever done.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, maybe yours.
So
was
on the
funny.
other hand, I'll
Yeah.
tell that I probably told this before. My friends would know this, but we have more listeners now. I was in a commercial in the Super Bowl that so I won this prize. Bud Light did this thing like Bud Light Living back in the day, where they would like give away these prizes. You apply and like they'd pick a winner, and they'd be crazy things. Like somebody got to fly on a private jet to like a bunch of football games. Ricky got to go to the March Madness
Final
Four. Mine I got picked was very fitting for me, but it wasn't that. It was like so. I got to go on stage during Digital Dreams while the DJ was playing, and I got to be like I got to like control the
Hype man.
pyrotechnics, be like a hype man. I was a DJ through university, so it's kind of fitting that I won it. I guess maybe that's why. But in terms of like all the prizes,
They just liked it.
It was like
They
so.
picked it. They picked it.
So, anyways, but after that happened, they called and they said, "Hey, we're shooting a Bud Light Living promo commercial for like Super Bowl 50, which was like massive. It was like the Katy Perry Shark Super Bowl halftime show." And the commercial played right before halftime. So like they're like, millions and millions are gonna see this. Do you want to be in it? And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, why wouldn't I want to be in it? Because as much as I like to direct, I obviously, who doesn't want to be the center of attention? So anyways, I got to be on it. I actually had lines in this commercial. Never acted in my life. And I will say that even though they were like telling me like what to do and like do this over and do like 3-4 takes, it was still really fun. So I think being acting, it is a fun experience. I just couldn't act because I don't know how to get like, okay, now be mad and be this person and be, I don't know. It's too hard. Anyways, enough about our acting experiences. We definitely don't have any careers in acting. That is 100%
I do have one
true.
question.
Yes.
How did this app spell bingo with an A?
No, it wasn't. It was.
Isn't it B9?
Oh, I didn't even realize what you were saying. I was like, wait. I was like,
yeah,
what?
I didn't even think that.
I was like,
I
wait,
guess it was
what is he talking about?
B1, B.
Wow,
I can't.
I was
I'm
even
teasing,
confused. I was like,
I'm
wait,
teasing.
A? I don't get it. Like, what does she mean, A?
Yeah, no,
wow, we are
I
dumb.
know about that.
You're not dumb. You
We're
guys were
a little slow today.
Yeah,
it's
it
been a
was-
long day. That's
Frick, that was like 9 years ago, but
wow.
it was.
A. What did you say? A81 or something?
I said A1, A2, A3, but I guess it would start off as B1 to B10, I guess, and then it goes I11 to.
And
I don't know how bingo's played, but she's right. There's no A in bingo.
Definitely no A in bingo.
This is embarrassing.
I
Anyways,
bet you someone else is listening, thinking like, how the hell did they go that far?
Vishal or John are gonna call that up before that happened.
One of them. Oh,
Yeah, we have two. His brother and one of our other buddies. They'll message us and like
That's
call
so
something out of
funny.
the episode.
That's a good
They're
one.
very. They'll catch that for sure. 100%.
It wasn't you. It was the app, right? It's the app
Yeah.
that
It
spelled
was
it
the
with an
app.
A.
Yeah, the app did it wrong.
Yeah, I've
They
had a
were-
typo.
Anyways, back on track here. Never mind A1. Who's some of the coolest people you've got to work with?
Okay. there's quite a few of them, and not all of the. For me, the coolest people
for you.
me. I got to work with Freddie Prinze Jr. That was pretty amazing.
That was a big
I feel like
deal.
that's like every girl. Like when you're I don't know how old you are, but I feel like in the 90s he was like the heartthrob. He was like the
early 2000s.
Yeah, even early 2000s he was the dude.
Yep.
What movie? Cruel Intentions. Isn't that the one he's big in?
No, that's his wife, Sarah Michelle Gellar, who I met because she was home.
They still married?
Yep. Happily.
Oh, good for them. That's the test of time right there for Hollywood.
For Hollywood, yeah.
So
sorry, not to cut you off because I want to hear where else you're going with this, but like it's really interesting how like there's some actors that withstand the test of time that are obviously really super talented, but like if you look at the 2000s, there was all these like movies, people like Freddie Prinze Jr., like even Joshua Jackson. You can think of so many people who are like these like male or female like heartthrobs, and like you don't see them as often, like as much now. There was kind of that window of like what's the movie? What's the theme? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase like there's like those.
You're
movies
on your own on this one, George.
No, you know what I mean? Like those not rom-coms, but there was like the rom-coms. There was like those like I don't know.
TV dramas?
Maybe, I don't know. Forget it. Irrelevant.
Back to you, Seth.
Irrelevant. That point,
So
I knew what
Freddie-
I was trying to say. I just couldn't figure out how to say it. Forget it.
Freddie Prinze Jr. That's a cool one.
that was a
Who
cool
else?
one. Jude Law was pretty cool.
Jude Law, that's a cool one.
I mean, he's cool. And so Scott Wilson, he played Herschel on The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Okay, so I loved The Walking Dead. Then I did a series and he came on and he actually still had his long hair in a ponytail from The Walking Dead. And my head of department at the time got to cut it off. So that was like a big deal because that was his thing. Like this ponytail was his thing from that show. And this was the first project he did post Walking Dead. So that was fun. That was fun to watch. And he's just a awesome person.
Cool.
There's I can't even think. Who else is pretty cool?
Is there anyone that was not cool?
Yeah, any like horror stories?
I mean, I obviously understand it's your job as well.
You don't need to say the name. You can say
you
like
gotta ask
horror
both
stories or
sides.
something. Yeah.
No, do you know what? I honestly have had a very lucky career that I haven't had to deal with any super divas or like people who are terrible on set or anything like that. Everyone I've had to deal with has always been really great, and I hope that stands for my entire career from here on out. But I mean, you always get, and I wouldn't even call them divas, but some people are just particular, and you have to understand too. And I feel like I'm just very understanding. It's their face on camera, it's them, so they have to feel comfortable. And if they're not comfortable, they're not going to perform well because they're thinking about what they look like. So it's our job to start off the day at a nice level, get them comfortable so they can just not think about it and go out there and do their job.
That's fair.
Right? That's
Yeah,
like
very true.
if you run for a living and someone gives you the most uncomfortable shoes, you're just thinking about how much your feet hurt.
That's actually a point.
So,
very fair.
yeah.
Well, you're saying that all I can think about is Tom Cruise snapping on everybody during that. What was he filming? It was Mission Impossible, the new one.
Yeah, but I think that's because of the masks and
protocol,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, COVID.
But like rightfully, but still, same, right? Like rightfully so. Like somebody who like, on top of that, they're professionals, right? They're doing a job, and they probably worked very hard to get. It doesn't matter what level of actor you are, whether you're an A-list or someone coming up. Like you've worked your whole life, and you just wake up one morning, want to be an actor, and then go do it the next day. Like you already worked your whole life to get there, so you take yourself very seriously, you take your job very seriously, and you expect everyone else to take it seriously as well. So,
Yep.
But yeah, I remember seeing that video of him like losing it. I was like, I mean, if I was him, I'd probably lose too. He's probably one of the most famous, top paid kind of actors in the world. So rightfully so.
It's I feel like you're very lucky because in my head I was expecting you to have a lot of like horror stories, but like a lot of like I don't want to say like bridezillas, but like a lot of people that just they're just like, oh no, don't touch my hair, don't do that, like just assholes and bitches.
Yeah. Well,
Assholes and bitches.
but yeah,
that's what I was expecting. Like
I hear stories about people who are difficult to work with, but I myself have not encountered that.
Knock on wood, lucky.
Yeah, seriously.
What
Even times.
what's the longest you've like had to sit someone down and do their hair? Because I know like there's the stories of like makeup taking, I don't know, like Ryan Reynolds when he was Deadpool would be sitting in a chair for like 7 hours doing makeup. Like this hair?
That's prosthetics. So it's yes, prosthetics take a long time. Hair, I probably not that long. Wigs can take a really long time, but the nice thing about wigs is you can do the majority of the work when they're not on the person's head.
True.
So sometimes, yeah, you can be in the trailer working on a wig for like 2 or 3 hours, styling it, getting it perfect. But then when that actor comes in, you know, it's maybe an hour and a half. It could be up to an hour and a half. Typically, we try to keep everything to about an hour and a half because we also don't want to come in crazy early, but on set, the average day is 12 hours, not including lunch, and we're allowed to shoot up to 14. And then you add your hour lunch. Now we have to have those actors ready for the start of that 12 hours. So they have to come in early. Plus, we have to come in earlier than them to prep. So, you know, an average day is probably 15, 16 hours. Easy. But I don't want to be there 18, 20 hours. I've done that. I don't want to do it. It's exhausting.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like I can imagine that's crazy. And you're standing the whole time doing all that stuff. Jesus. But that's what I mean. Like I don't know what hair takes normally to do. Like what, like for normal, like do you hair normally like an hour, 45 to style.
Yeah,
like,
I'd say the average is 30 to 45 minutes.
So it's like double or triple that basically. So even as long as prosthetics, it's still like it's relative, I guess, right? Yeah. Like it's still very time consuming, I guess. Yeah.
And, I mean, unless you're doing something crazy and like coloring their hair in some weird way, but even that would only typically happen at the beginning and then some maintenance along the way.
Do you get to decide how their hair is done, or is it like just pre-decided? Do you guys have like a not a Pinterest board, but like a mood board or something?
Mood boards, yes. Mood boards are big. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just laughing because you said Pinterest board.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, what's the? I didn't know they were called mood boards. Yeah. I've never done one.
So it is a mood board. Yeah, we do work off that.
Those things that girls talk about.
But
and guys.
What was the question again?
Do you get to decide what their hair like stuff looks like, or is it, how does it work? Give us the process.
It varies from project to project, but normally, well, no, nothing's really normal. What could happen is the production could come to you with thoughts already. And then you put together a mood board, maybe throw it back at them, and they say, yes, this is what we're feeling. Or they're like, nope, here's what we're thinking, and they'll send you stuff. But if it's a little more lenient, again, depending on the network, you are collaborating between hair, makeup, wardrobe, and the actor. And sort of the 4 departments are working together to create said look. And then you get together, you guys kind of chat about it. Well, actually, hair, makeup, wardrobe would kind of chat ahead of time, sending mood boards, feels. Then the actor would kind of be brought into it. This is what we're thinking. They could put their input. And then you test it out. And then you do what's called a camera test. And they put it in front of the camera, see how it reads. And then they send it to the network, the producers and the network, and they say yay or nay. And typically, you'll do a couple different looks, just so they have options.
So have you ever had a situation where, like, let's say the actor or the actress didn't like the style that the producers and maybe yourself liked, so then you're out this like standoff because, as you said earlier, they need to feel good, they need to look good in order to perform. Yes. So then what do you do?
At the end of the day, it's
the money
paying.
talks. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a network.
You don't look good, you don't feel good, doesn't matter, we're paying you.
Yeah, so it is a network at the end of the day. Actually, one of
that's what I would do on set. I want to be that person.
What?
The network.
Oh, the network calls all the shots.
I want to be the network.
Yeah.
That's the
you
money.
You want to be Disney.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, Disney.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 I can think of. Lionsgate.
No.
Amazon.
It's a producer, I think. No. Lionsgate is a
well, yeah, but if they're paying for it, they...
True. Production company.
Whoever has the money. Whoever's putting in front of the money, they have the final say, typically. Unless they've...
Unless Brad Pitt's on set, then fucking he's probably got the final say.
Oh, yeah. If you have... So, for example, I did a series and our lead actor was also an executive producer. So he had a bit more freedom because he could put in his
Calls
input
all the shots.
and no, I wouldn't say all of them, but he definitely had more pull. So it's more like, you know, if I had to send photos to the network, it's like, this is what he asked for.
Fair.
Things like that.
You know what? You know what an EP, like executive producer, will always forever remind me of, and why I look at it differently now. Do you ever remember the episode? Have you ever seen Entourage?
I actually had a feeling
Only
you were going to say this.
the movie.
Okay, so have you seen Entourage? Daniel? So there's an episode where Ari is talking to Vin, trying to talk him into a movie, and he's like, basically saying, "We'll get him to throw an EP in for you." And from that point on, I was like, I never knew what an executive producer did. It sounds important because an executive is very high up. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, these are just fucking titles. And then you would start watching movies, and you would see every actor in the movie, like the key lead actor has an EP. And I was like, oh, so this is nothing. This is just like, they just throw it in, like, it's part of it. I'm not saying it's the case for all of them, but I remember after I saw that on Entourage. What?
It's a sweet in the pot.
Yeah, I remember seeing that after Entourage. I was always then skeptical of, like, is this like a real EP, or is it like, did they do something, or are they different? Like, I mean, if you see like Mark Wahlberg on it, you're like, okay, he's a businessman. Maybe he's got some, you know, input or something. Or and you see other ones, I'm like, I don't know. I've always been curious about that. I mean, obviously we'll never know, but
It really depends if they are actually, if they're an executive producer because they are part of the creative aspect of the movie, like if they are part of the writing or the creating of it, stuff like that, or if they signed on because of who they are, then yes. But if they are just given the title for other reasons, because sometimes it's the way money works. Like, you're just going to get paid minimum wage. You're an executive producer, so you're going to make money on the back end.
Yeah, because that's brings me to DJ Khaled's album. I think his most recent album, his son was named an EP on it. Check that, actually. And the idea was that he'll always get the royalties from that. He'll always.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, somebody to do with the royalties from the music.
Oh.
And then he says, like, oh, my son inspired this music. The
That
greatest.
guy kills me.
But I'm pretty sure
Oh my god. Yeah, I
Assad,
think he is. Yeah.
whatever this kid's name is.
That's his son.
He's
Yeah, I
an
knew it was
executive
that. I didn't know
producer?
that's why though. That's actually.
Executive producer producing his next album.
There you go.
I didn't know
somebody do
that.
'cause they're like
I knew
royalties.
he gave him an EP. I just didn't know why. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Learn something new.
Yeah.
I have friggin' had a point to make. I'll come back to
Well,
it.
anyways, I got one. What was your favorite hairstyle or
I
kind
know what I
of?
was gonna say. Go ahead.
What was your favorite hairstyle or hair project you did other than that wig? Or maybe the wig's not. I don't know.
The wig definitely was one of my favorites because it's holds a special place in my heart. She was also one of my favorite characters in the books. So that was a big one. That was a really big one. There was a series I did called V Wars, and I just like creating. I like bringing things to life, especially if I can tie in a fandom and bring like. So I did a series called V Wars, and one of the characters on it, her name was Kaylee, and she's just like she's a reporter in essence, but just Indy does it from her own home sort of thing. And so in the comic books, she has a specific hairstyle, but it's a comic book hairstyle. It's not real life. And sometimes you can't bring, a piece of paper to life. But at the very end, because it's kind of at the end of the series is when she becomes really that reporter, that character. So what we did, and the network loved it, is we actually tried to bring that hairstyle from the comic to life as her like persona when she's on camera. So stuff like that was really fun. And the actor was so excited. Her name was Jackie, and it made her feel good, and like she loved that idea, and like so that was awesome. Shadowhunters was a big one because it's fantasy, so there was a lot of just really fun hairstyles, things out of the box. I don't know. I like period stuff too. I just did some dailies. Like I was just extra.
Sorry, what are
hands.
period stuff?
Anything. It could be like the 1890s, could be the 20s, 30s,
okay,
like
sorry.
period series.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
So I did.
Did you know
I
that?
just.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Is
just.
that period in time?
Yeah, I didn't know it was period.
Fair.
Yeah.
So
I just
a
did a
bad
couple
question.
days on a series called 11/22/63, and that was a lot of fun.
What period is that from?
November 22nd, 1963.
11/22. What was it? Say it again.
11/22/63.
I'm
Yeah, it's
guessing
probably
that's
area
something other
code.
meeting. Area. Wait,
It's-
what did you say? That's probably a bad question, Rick. It's an area code. What?
What's it stand for? 11/22/63.
That's the date.
Oh, it's the date.
that
Okay.
is the
So I
date.
Oh,
right
was
the
it? I
first
was
time.
just guessing period.
It was
piece.
the date. So
Oh,
yeah, so
interesting.
that was really fun because it was this huge parade we did, and so everyone was in the 60s. So just bringing those, like, all the authentic 60s hairstyles and stuff to life, that was a ton of fun.
You know which? Sorry to cut you off there. You know which video I just saw the other day? Do you know the one where it does the males' hairstyles over the?
On TikTok.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just saw it.
Sick.
Yeah.
I
need
was
to
really-
see this.
Have you seen it?
No.
So they take
While
this
you're
one.
talking, I'll see if I can find
They
it.
they take this one random guy. No, I guess not a random guy, but he's like maybe a model or an actor or something, and they do all the hairstyles
Damn
from
it, this is
the
awkward.
just turn down.
Turn it down right now.
They do all the
Nice.
hairstyles from, I think they start at the 40s and go all the way to 2010.
It's gonna be so.
They
far
do it by
back
every
for me.
decade.
I love that.
It's super cool. While he's looking at that as well, what's one series or project or show, anything that you would want to work on? Like, is there one that's like your goal, your dream to work on?
I would have loved to work on Vikings. That to me is just so much fun. All the braiding, all the intricate like work, shaving parts of head, putting tattoos on it. Yeah, just creating those sort of like really real, dirty, authentic, greasy, fun, beautiful looks. Like it's
So
just
many adjectives
everything.
to describe Vikings. Love that.
That was I loved watching that. I thought, to me, that was beautiful. So yeah,
That's
I would have loved to do something like that. But I did take a class with the head of the makeup department who did the hand laid beards on all of them, and that was one of the most exciting things ever. Just learning that, because it's all literally hand laid pieces of hair. All those beards were fake for the most part. I'm sure one or two had real
Oh,
beards.
really?
Yeah. And they look so natural because it's literally hand laid piece of hair.
But think about how annoying that is. You gotta get that. You gotta sit there every day. You come to work and they gotta redo your beard. I would just grow it out. Like,
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find this, guys. I'm like deep back in my old stuff. Like I'm going through like TikTok right now. I know it's somewhere old.
I'm gonna have to Google that later.
we'll
That'll
find it.
come.
You can find it easy.
What I was gonna ask earlier was, I don't know if I can find it. I'm sure you can find it. What I was gonna ask earlier was, is there somebody, in the film industry that does like that is like the pinnacle of like they're the best person when it comes to like doing hair on set, like someone who like you like idolize, look up to, someone who's like does all the big movies, or is it just on a set by set basis, I guess?
For me, it's I definitely have people that I look up to, but honestly, so many people are so amazing at different aspects. So it's just like watching this person create this, like put this wig on, and it's just like, oh my God, you would never know it's a wig, and things like that. Or watching this person do a haircut, or just this person just, throws their fingers in something and somehow it comes out like amazing. But it's, there are definitely people and their careers that like I idolize and I would love to become, and I'll get there. And it's just, but I just feel it's different things. I just love pulling things and watching people and the way they work, because everyone is so different.
Yeah, very cool.
What's your style of work then?
My style? I don't
Like,
know.
you're not pulling like what? I guess, what's your style? I guess does it change from project to project?
It definitely does, because it completely depends on what you're doing. For example, fantasy is obviously a little more avant-garde and stuff like that. And then I've done a ton of modern day stuff too, which is literally
what do you like
just
the best then?
today's hair. I like when I get to be super creative. I do.
The crazy shit.
Yeah, I do. I love that.
I get that. I'd want to do it too, because you can do regular stuff every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And then sometimes one of my favorite things is throwing something in for the actor. So not everyone might notice. For example, on Locke&Key, the second season, the character is Kinsey, played by a lovely actor named Amelia. And we did this tiny little braid that was consistent and always there. And you couldn't always see it. Sometimes it was a little hidden or whatever, but it was always there. And his name was Marv. Yeah, his name was Marv.
The braid's name was Marv.
Yeah.
Why was it named Marv?
It's that's just what happened.
Marv.
Don't remember how it became Marv, but his name was Marv, and he was always there for a very long time. I don't know if they kept it after.
I love that.
Yeah. So little things like that. And I
Hey,
remember,
fair.
yeah, and it was just like, oh, we got to do Marv.
Yeah. I
Love
got a
that.
plant named Charlie, so
Yeah, there you go.
I got
It's
it.
actually doing a lot better than it was before.
I'm killer plant dad.
My
Yeah,
plants
I'm
are
not a
starting to
green
die.
thumb.
It's tough taking care of plants.
I'm good at that one.
What?
You had
If
a
you could-
question before.
I think I asked who like want
Oh,
like
yeah,
what
yeah.
aspire to. If you could work with one actor or actress, who would you want it to be?
That's a really difficult question. Because it would also have to do with the project.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily like, yeah.
Okay, let me rephrase it. What's
'Kay.
one show you wish you could work on? One show
that
or
was-
movie?
I just
Like
asked.
Vikings.
Vikings. Sorry.
That's okay.
Wow,
He
I'm
was- he was-
dumb. I
he was
just
in
I
the
tried to
TikTok,
I
yeah.
tried to
In
pivot
TikTok,
it.
yeah.
No, I heard the part with Vikings. I was listening to it, but I just tried to pivot the question better, and I pivoted right into the one that Ricky asked. I can tell that's a first. I haven't done that before. I've pivoted into worse questions, but never.
Let's say like what's a different project with a specific actor or actress that you would want to do? Like let's say I don't know Iron Man, Tony Stark or something. Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
You know what? Sorry, I'm surprised no one's ever copied Robert Downey Jr.'s like beard ever. Like it never became a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people copy movie looks, and that's
I'm
one thing.
sure there's some people that have.
No one cool. Like, I've never seen somebody like an influencer or something that's like, oh, people would copy this trend. Like I've never seen anyone do it. Have you? I don't know. Maybe like you look it up if it's popular. Like that's one thing you think Tony Stark was really cool. People want like aspire to be like Iron Man when but like no one ever did the slit, whatever it is. You know?
He was cool.
He is cool. Anyway, sorry. We can go back to the question.
We're all over the place today.
We're all over.
Okay.
Do you know what getting back to me and loving period work and wigs and all that, I would have loved to work with Kirsten Dunst in Marie Antoinette. Something like that would have been a
Okay.
ton of fun for me.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Like I just love that. The big hair, the big wigs, and
To be honest, I was gonna guess something like Avatar. You know, like one of those kind of people.
but that's all CGI.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's a
Oh.
lot of CGI, those creatures and all that on Avatar.
Whoops.
You didn't know
No,
it was
it's fine.
CGI?
I
It's
thought
one
it
of the
was
first big CGI movies ever.
With
Really?
because it brought 3D back.
Whoops. Did not know that.
That's okay.
I've
But
never
that's
seen
a
Avatar.
testament-
It's Becca's favorite movie or something. It's just that I watched it once and I couldn't get into it.
Oh.
But that's a testament to the movie that you believe.
I thought it was like
Or
green
his
screen
or
and
his
stuff.
IQ level.
Yeah.
The half glass half full, half empty.
Yeah, that's a lot
Have
of
you seen the
CGI.
movie? They're like giants.
I've never seen it.
If you I just
Harry
only seen
Potter,
part of
there's a
it.
giant. It's still a normal person.
No,
Hagrid?
Hagrid is not the that I don't
He's
think it's his
on
normal.
stilts.
I don't.
No, that's
he on stilts?
Tricks.
I think it's
That's
yeah,
Camatrix.
like
Camatrix?
Yeah.
Well, still, that's
Maybe
a real
he's on-
person.
maybe he's on stilts.
There is
Yeah, yeah.
Real
CGI
person.
and things. Yes.
Well, yeah, but like I think when no matter what, even CGI, you have to have a real person doing the motions in the body, but then it's blown
Yes.
up. So like it's like Gollum. You know the guy who plays Gollum in Lord of the Rings? He's the guy who plays.
He does everything.
He's also
The Planet
in.
of the Apes.
Andy,
Yeah.
Andy, what's his name?
Yeah, so it's
Andy
still like,
Serkis.
yeah.
Andy Serkis, yeah.
He's the South African guy. He's also in Black
Canadian.
Panther. No,
Andy
is he?
Serkis?
Or am I thinking of someone different?
Danielle, Andy Serkis. I'm pretty sure he's
The guy who
Canadian.
plays Gollum. I'm thinking of the guy. I may have mixed it up with the guy who plays Black Panther, who has a South African accent, unless he's Canadian.
Black Panther?
Yes, the guy with the one arm.
Yeah,
That is Andy Serkis.
that is not
He's
him.
English. That is, and he is in.
That's him,
Black
right?
Panther, right?
He is in.
I just remember because I always
Yeah, it's the guy with the one
same
arm.
guy. Yeah. I thought so because I just could picture him. Like I could see his face.
He's also the ape in Planet of the
Yeah,
Apes.
yeah.
And
But see, still like
he's-
green screen, like it's still CGI. Lord of the Golem. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
so interesting.
He's a character actor.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
Imagine
he's
playing
won
an
a whole
ape.
bunch of awards.
yeah, and
He's like
deserves
the
all of
GOAT
them.
in CGI.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to work with him.
That would be
Okay.
cool.
We're gonna do that.
That would be cool.
It's all CGI anyway. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, I keep picturing. I think South African actors are the coolest. So anytime an actor plays a South African character, they're like I can remember who they are for the most part. Because I always remember Leonardo DiCaprio in Blood Diamond.
That's a
The accent?
that's a great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I should rewatch that. That was good.
Okay, where were we here? Favorite act. Okay, so and your answer was.
Wait,
sorry,
I have a question.
What was the answer?
This is a stupid
Marie
question. For
Antoinette,
sure.
Kristen Dunst.
This is a stupid question, 100%.
Okay.
On set, if there's a bald actor, do they get makeup on their head or hair? Like, does hair take care of their head or makeup take care of their head?
Okay, if someone's completely bald, it would typically be a bit more of a makeup thing because if your head gets sweaty, they just powder you down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hair doesn't just like blow dry them off or anything?
I mean, I've had.
Hey,
So,
this
here's
is
the
fair.
thing.
It's stupid, but it's fair.
I have had actors who are bald come in, but they might have a bit of a dry scalp. So yeah, we'll go and put some oil or treatment on them
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yes,
Not
it is
stupid.
a chance.
They don't blow dry their head.
But no, we don't. Yeah, we don't.
Pat it dry, blow dry, dry. Who knows?
A little different.
So yes, we take care of whatever they need. They
Fair.
will definitely 100% come through hair. And it's like, do
I
you
don't know.
need anything?
Just some people come
Like
through
that.
quicker than others.
Precisely.
The bald is they don't even stop. They just walk through to make.
You know why I remind you? Because the guy from Blood Diamond, Jimon Hansu, is bald. And I was like, I wonder if he got it.
He's sick too.
But if they were the ones keeping his head shaved, then he definitely has to come
That's
through.
true as well.
Right? So
I
it
never
depends.
thought about that aspect.
If they, because some people just
Do you,
enjoy
does
doing
that
it
happen?
themselves.
Like, is there like, do you have
Oh,
to like,
yes.
yeah?
Maintaining it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
interesting.
So, but some people
See,
do,
like, I would
do
never
it
think of that.
themselves. Some people do
Yeah,
it themselves.
that's what I would think.
And then, but even then,
We got a buddy's bald. Shout out to Mike Dirkley. He won't listen to this, but I hope he does now. Sorry.
but sometimes I like when they come through just to make sure, like, did they miss a hair on the back of their neck or
Yeah.
something like that? So I like to take a look.
That's so cool. Like, I'm thinking, moving on, working on movies must be like tiring, but it must be so cool. It's so like it's different every day, I guess, right? Like, there's no day.
Yeah.
Guessing that's like every set is different, every movie's different, every day is a new scene. So you're literally
Yeah.
like, it's got to be cool.
It is cool, and it's basically I have a new job every, whether it be 2 weeks or 10 months. You know, you're starting something completely new.
What's the longest show or series you've worked on?
That would have been Shadowhunters. I worked on 2 seasons of that show. It was 20 episodes a season, so it ran about almost 10 months, 9.5 months
Wow.
a season.
Wow, so that's basically 2 years of your life.
Yes.
Almost.
Just yeah, pretty much just over. And then also I was a little crazy because in between those 2 seasons, I decided to take a 2.5 month show.
So you're just going back and forth.
I literally had one production come and pick up my kit from the other production, and then the other production picked it back up and put it back in the other truck.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was this?
Shadowhunters was Toronto, and the other production was in North Bay. So the kit.
So
drove
how did that
North
work
Bay.
logistically? You had someone that drove it from North Bay to Toronto.
Yes.
Not like 8 hours or something.
4.
4? Oh, that's
Yeah,
not
not
okay.
too
Not
bad.
terrible.
Not too
too
bad.
But then you're also doing that drive too.
Oh yeah. I made a mistake once. I was working in Sudbury, and I decided I wanted my motorcycle up there, so I had someone drive me to Toronto, and I took my Ninja up there, and that was the worst thing I ever did because it's not a comfortable bike for long rides.
That's like a 6-hour ride? More?
I did it in
Less?
Sudbury,
5.
the
5?
big nickel.
Yeah.
The big nickel. I've never been to Sudbury. I've been to French River, is the farthest I've gone. And my
There's
brother-in-law.
not much in there.
My brother-in-law's mom's from there, so he would, after we go camping, like my family and everything, they'd go up farther, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll head back to the city. We're nearing the point, but there is one thing that I've been thinking of from the beginning, one of the first things you said when I asked if this is what you thought you were destined to do, and you said no, like you don't know if it would have worked out or would have happened this way. But it's interesting because you said like you grew up as a big fan of Shadowhunters, and you actually made a wig prior to getting that that role. Maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's just whatever. But like, I mean, I'll be honest. Before I don't think I've read or heard of Shadowhunters before that. Like to have that just happen doesn't like it. Could be coincidence, but there's a lot of friggin' books and a lot of shows out there that you could have made it for any other one. Like, I mean, you could have done a period piece thing as your like just whatever, but
Yeah.
practice, and you did one that ended up working out that way.
Yeah. So
Whether
that's-
it's coincidence or was supposed to, I guess we'll never know.
No, I know, and yeah, that's what I feel like I would have been destined. It just obviously, if that didn't happen, might have taken a bit longer.
Yeah,
But
I love that.
I wonder.
knows?
It's interesting.
yeah,
But I didn't think about it the whole time. I was like, I wonder if that's like. Anyways,
Anyways, so what's on the horizon? I was gonna say on the agenda. What's on the horizon for you? What's coming up? Any cool, exciting projects you can share with us?
No, I can't share.
I love when they say that. It's like, no, we can't share it. Got lots of stuff. Just can't
Yeah.
share it.
Every time we have like an artist, whatever kind of artist it is, like
Yeah.
they're always like, yeah, no, we can't really say.
We just literally
we
just had
know,
one.
and we know that they can't say it. We just try and see if anyone will
It's
come
so
up.
funny.
Well, there
There are one
so,
or two sneak peeks. from
Yeah,
time to time.
no, I can't say the one that's coming up and happening, but I did do actually a movie during the heart of lockdown. So we shot that. It was called Untitled Horror Movie. We just had the release mid-June.
It was called Untitled Horror Movie, or
That's the name of the movie.
Oh, okay.
It's called Untitled Horror Movie, and so SAG,
sounds like a fake name.
right?
Yeah.
So SAG, which is the Actors Union in the States, said that we weren't allowed having two actors in the same room, but they let us shoot this movie, and it was all done over Zoom. We sent the actors lighting kits, cameras, all this stuff, and so they shot it themselves. I sent them hair and makeup kits, had to FaceTime, teach them how to it's a horror movie, so how to put a bruise on, how to layer the makeup, how to this, blood, stuff like that. And it's all done over Zoom and FaceTime. So anyway, we're hoping that we're gonna do a sequel to that.
Where is it playing on? Like, is it streaming? Is it?
Yeah, you can watch it on. It's on Amazon and iTunes. Yeah.
Is it Untitled Horror Movie?
Untitled horror movie.
Is it scary or is it like?
It's a comedy horror.
Okay.
So it's.
I'm good then. I'll
hilarious.
watch it.
I have a question. How did they do the back of their heads?
We never see the back of their heads.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Fair answer.
They.
At first, I was gonna be like, "That's fair," but then I was like, after she said that, I was like, "Wow!" I was gonna say that too. I was like, "That is stupid," because
Well,
you're
I
facing
know.
Zoom. Like,
Yeah, but you don't. Maybe they walk away from something.
Everyone's.
I'm scared.
It's true.
True.
I mean, they were good, and
They just turn. It's like all the curls in the girl's hair are gone.
yeah, it's like curly and it's like ends right here.
Well, no, I guess women know how to do.
They
the
would
back of their
CGI
heads.
it.
yeah, we CGI
CGI.
it was no, they were good. The actors were good, and it's so the premise of it is it's just real life. So not like they were good.
Nothing crazy.
No, and all of them, the 6 leads are sort of big actors in their own series, and the only reason, well, one of the blessings was the movie got this cast because no one was doing anything, because everyone was a lead on their own show.
But yeah, all shows were halted.
Exactly. So they got this awesome cast, and
Wow.
it's a great script. It's hilarious. Yeah.
Who's it? Who is it? Tell us.
There's like Claire Holt, Darren Barnett, Catherine McNamara,
I just realized
Yep.
nobody can hear her.
Luke Baines.
Luke Baines, Kevin Daniels.
Yeah.
Kevin Daniels is from.
I need to-
Wait, I don't know Kevin Daniels. That name. Kevin
He
Daniels.
has his own
He has his own
show.
show.
Yeah.
What's it? I can't even think of the name.
Kevin
Well, we
Daniels.
have
Sounds so familiar.
Emmy
Anyways,
Ray. Yeah, we have Emmy also, and she's on Umbrella Academy, and then
love that show.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy.
So
Sick.
she plays Allison. So like we have these people.
Which
who
one's
are
Allison?
One of the 7. You know, the one who does the whispering thing.
Shit,
She
I can't
makes
remember.
people do whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then
It's a good show. I like it.
Cal Penn. We got Cal Penn.
Cal
like,
Penn.
Really great people.
I
that-
actually just told us. Wait, was this shot in Toronto? No, not in Toronto.
It wasn't. It was done in L.A.
I told a story about Cal Penn, how I bumped into him at Legree when I was working out once. Were you with that? Yeah, I was like working out.
Yeah, it
like,
was a couple weeks ago. You told
Yeah,
that.
He was on Designated, so he was here for a while. Designated Survivor. So he was in Toronto for a long
That
time.
was shot here?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, all excited.
So that does make sense then. So I was like, yeah, I don't even remember why we told it or who we were telling it to, but like,
it was the episode with United Boxing.
why are you? What?
I don't know either.
Oh, no, chart. Oh.
Anyway, I have a question. What's because we're nearing the end. What's one like actor or actress that is no longer present that you would have loved to have worked with, and like a specific show or something?
I would have loved to work with Audrey Hepburn. She has been an idol of mine since
yeah, that's a
before I
cool
ever
one.
wanted to get into film.
Yeah,
I
that's a
would have
cool
I would have
one.
loved
I
to
feel
even
like-
just shake her hand.
Every I feel like almost 50% of university dorm rooms have the Audrey Hepburn poster.
Yeah.
Danielle, do you have it?
Something similar.
Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah. Or Live, Laugh, Love.
Yeah, or both. Or both. That's so funny.
George, you got anything else?
No, it's honestly pretty cool.
Steph, this is the part where we usually wrap it up. And thank you so much for coming on. Honestly,
thank you
Yeah,
guys.
it's been
I
fun.
learned so much today. I did not know anything about hair and makeup. I still don't know too much, but I know it's not as easy as it looks. That's for sure. We
Definitely knew that from the beginning.
Yeah,
like
that-
definitely
that-
not like that. Do you know how hard? Like I have a tough time just styling my hair, and my hair's like push it back. Like
I don't curl my hair unless she's home.
That's
That's why your hair's always straight, eh?
when I had long hair, I wouldn't want. I would just not. I would never dry it. I wouldn't do anything. I would just like wash it and walk out. That's it. Like it would be wet. I'm like, okay, whatever happens, happens. It takes like it's hard.
I'm on that train.
Yeah.
I just throw a hat on. That's my trick.
I kind of miss my hair now. I should let this grow.
Anyways, Steph, we got 2 questions we always ask every guest.
'Kay.
The first, if there was a movie about your life, who would you want to star as you? Can be anyone from any point in time.
Movie about my life. Who would star as me? Oh goodness. I apologize to her. I don't know her name, but she played the child empress in The Never-Ending Story. Did you ever see?
I've seen it.
I've
I just
never
don't
seen it.
remember the never.
So
This
the
is why we
child
have
empress
Danielle.
at the end, she's the princess. She's got that crown around her head,
I
and
don't
she gives
remember.
Bastian the grain of
This is why we have
Strona.
Cami Strona.
Tammy
Strona.
Strona.
Tammy Strona. Tammy Strona.
I can't wait for Danielle to start editing
Actually,
these
wow,
episodes.
guys, I guessed how to spell this, and I spelled it correctly. Tami. Like
Because
yeah, Stronic.
Strona.
I can't. When Danielle starts editing these,
Stronic.
Danielle, at the end of every episode, you guys gotta post a picture of the person that they say.
But you have
She's still-
to post her
she looks
as the child
familiar.
empress.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, right here.
Let's see.
Let's see
I don't
the
have a
child
picture.
empress. I don't know. I just loved her in that
Yeah, that's
movie.
what George just pulled
Yeah.
up. Okay, interesting one.
You know what she
I like
kind of
that.
looks like now, being older. She looks like what's the lady's name from oh man, I can't remember the Netflix show that with Keith with Kevin Spacey. The politics one. Under something card.
Oh, House of Cards.
House of Cards. Kind of looks like her.
Yeah.
Claire Underwood.
Claire Underwood. That's it.
Her or Lady Gaga.
Okay, that's a cool one.
Should
yeah.
we go with Lady Gaga?
Your answer. You can go with whatever you want. So Danielle, now you got to post a picture of Lady Gaga right there, and it's got to be right here.
Danielle, who should I go with?
The first one.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good.
Tammy
George.
Stronic.
Question: if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Don't look back. Keep moving forward. Yeah.
Love it.
It's good. Simple. Love it. There we are.
Steph, again, appreciate you coming in and chatting with us. If people want to find out more about you, what you're doing, the projects you're working on, where can they go? How can they find you?
Instagram's probably the best place, and that's at Stefanie Terzo. Stephanie is spelled with an F.
I like that you did that because I would have said that. Spell it out. Again, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. If you're listening, go give her a follow. See all the exciting things she's up to. And if you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, review, all those fun things. And that's all, pals. See you next week.
See ya.
I love that.
Little California flair.
Yeah.